going to resume my recording here so that I have it on Zoom for the people who are here. Anyway, Rosie introduced me to the oils. I was a homeschool mom. My name's Dawn Beam, by the way, for those of you who might not know me. I am the head of our Heart Nature team, a network of really incredible women, mostly from around the world, mostly women, not mostly incredible, from around the world, literally, who in their own right are powerful healers, teachers, moms, and actually, coaches and spiritual guides. Really incredible people that I've been networked and knit together with through this whole journey. And each week you'll get to hear from one of us about essential oils. So I wanted to share a little bit of my own story as to how I got into using essential oils, because they're all the rage now, right? But like 8-9 years ago, it was a pretty new thing for me. I had never really heard of essential oils. I was pretty much a hot mess, a mom who had moved multiple times with my young kids. I had a 10-year-old, a 3-year-old, a host of health issues and emotional challenges, as well as just, alone, moving so many times, so many places. And my son had some health issues. And I was kind of at my wit's end, and Rosie had had a really profound experience with essential oils, helping a condition she'd been dealing with for decades. And she had tried everything under the sun. So she said, would you be interested in learning more? And I was like, yes, because Western medicine at that point had told me I need to just live with the things that I was dealing with, that they didn't have any more answers for me. And so it was just going to be muddle through. Have you ever had that said to you? Have you ever felt like you just had to muddle through when, your eyes are all itchy and your nose is stuffy and you're clogged up, or your kids are struggling, or you're emotionally at your wit's end? That was me. And all I knew about essential oils was that they were supposed to smell good, and that lavender is supposed to calm you down. And I went to my friend's house, and she talked a bit about oils, had me smell them. And gosh, I wish we were in the same room together so that you could smell some of these amazing oils, because it's going to be one thing for me to tell you about them, but for you to actually experience them. Like, I can tell you they're amazing, but when you experience them, then they're amazing, right? Because we can say all sorts of things. So I invite you, when you're done here, if this has intrigued you, to reach out to the person who sent you here, or reach out to me if you just found me randomly, and ask for a sample. Ask to learn more and try it out and test it out. Don't believe me, believe your own body's experience. So I just wanted to share that. Anyway, she shared a little bit about essential oils with me, and shared a book kind of like this one, which really just opened my eyes to how much essential oils can positively impact our lives. And I was hooked. And I was in a place where I was just barely surviving as a mom, and I wasn't about to go changing the world. I was literally trying to hold my little family and self together. And the oils met me where I was, and Rosie met me where I was. And for a year, I just used a couple of oils. I tried to use them on my son, and they helped some, but what I found was that the emotional and physical and mental benefits that I received from the oils helped me be more of the parent I wanted to be, helped me function in new ways, gave me hope that things could be different. And as I started to read through the book and learn more about oils, I was intrigued at some of the claims. You hear claims like, there's an oil for that. And I'm not here to tell you that oils are going to make all your problems just disappear, but they can powerfully support our bodies, support our systems, and make changes and support us in changes where things that I thought we had to live with, we were able to find solutions for, we were able to get free from. And every time I help somebody with something like that and see the relief wash over their body, their airways open up or their emotions and shoulders relax, I'm just so grateful that my friend shared them with me. So along the way, as things got better, I started sharing with other people, and that just brings me so much joy. But enough about me. Let's talk a little bit more about essential oils, especially if they're new for you. Have a little bit of a slideshow to share, so I'll pop back and forth between that and me. Let's see, we'll pop over here. Okay, I love this picture. Nature was man's first remedy. Everything we need can be found there. I'm trying to figure out, oh, okay. Anyway, and I named my business Heart Nature because of that, because nature is so profound. And when we listen to our hearts and we access the power of nature, we can really see some amazing things happen in our lives. Just think about a time when you were at the beach or you walked through a forest and you just went, right? Okay, now let's talk a little bit about oils. They are effective. I've found them effective through trying them out. And we're going to talk about what they are, how they are effective, and three different ways to use them. Now you see this little natural solutions guide. I'm going to put the link to it in here for you to download and print out if you'd like. There's more information in there than I'm going to cover in the short time we have together. But there are some great things in there that we're going to talk about. So essential oils, they come from different parts of the plant. Plants create their own chemical soup, so to speak, these essential oils that protect the plant, that help restore the plant. Maybe that drives pests away. Maybe it just helps it survive better in its environment. And we can distill that down and we can actually have a beautiful, beautiful support to our own bodies, which recognize essential oils as natural like us. And so our cells and the receptor sites on them understand how to utilize these and can go in and have those oils and the chemical components in them, which are, there's a whole bunch of them, right? It's not one simple little thing. And so together they work synergistically in our body. It's really, really remarkable. These do reach every cell of our body. And so like if you put peppermint on the bottom of your feet, in a couple of minutes, you're going to taste it. And so one thing to keep in mind is that they're super powerful and potent, right? Because they're distilled down, they're very strong, and you only need a drop or so. If you put a drop on your foot, you're going to taste it. If you have an ache and you put something on that is soothing, your whole body will receive that benefit given a little bit of time. And because it goes to every cell of our body, we really want to be sure that the essential oils we're using are pure and that they have the potency. Another nice little thing to keep in mind, and I'll jump back to that in a sec, is that they are affordable. 1 drop of peppermint equaling 28 cups of peppermint tea. If my belly's upset, I don't want to drink 28 cups of peppermint tea. That 1 drop is going to make a huge difference. And because it's only 1 drop, it makes it really affordable to be able to take care of our family instead of having to have a whole bunch of things over the counter to deal with various issues and things. Just a thought there. Okay, so about it being safe. This is the really important thing that I wanted to come back to. Essential oils on the market are not regulated. They are not under any real regulation as far as purity, potency, organic, non-organic, whatever. It is up to the individual companies to test or trust their sources. And doTERRA was founded very specifically because The owners had profound experiences with essential oils with their children, and they've seen the benefit of oils, and they knew how unregulated it was and how they wanted everyone to have essential oils that they could count on for the purity and the potency and to get the therapeutic benefits that you'd expect based on what they say the bottle should have. Bear in mind that in the United States, at least, if you have a bottle and it says 100% pure lavender, that means that there's at least 1 drop of 100% pure lavender in the bottle. Could have bunches of other stuff. So it's really important because we're putting it on our bodies, in our bodies, we're breathing it in, and I'll be teaching you about how that goes right to the brain, that we're putting good things in that we can trust. One thing that I love about doTERRA is that when the oils do not meet their standards when it comes to them from a distillery and from one of their partners, and it doesn't meet the standards, they won't sell it. And so for a while, there were 2 oils that we love. And for, I think it was about 2 years until there were new crops, new sources, and the quality was there, they refused to sell it, even though they could have made money with it. And that speaks volumes to me about where their values are. So I really appreciate that. And that's why I feel comfortable sharing this information with you. I'm specifically talking about doTERRA oils. More on that later. Okay, let's see here. Okay, this is Emily. She's one of the founders. She was the original person sent to find good sources of oil. And what she found was beyond even good sources of oil was whole people groups, many of them in impoverished areas, who could benefit from a partnership with doTERRA. And so doTERRA has invested heavily into communities where they need to learn sustainable sourcing, where they need to learn and have resources to be able to harvest and distill. And they've taught them, doTERRA's taught them with the co-impact sourcing model, how to form cooperatives so that they wouldn't be leveraged or taken advantage of by middlemen, but they would have bargaining power. So doTERRA is all about empowering people around the world and making their lives better by allowing them to create these amazing products with support, with education, and to be able to provide that to all of us around the world. So I know for myself, I really like to vote with my pocketbook. So when I started looking at doTERRA, beyond just caring for my own family, I was thinking about sharing it with other people. I wanted to know the kind of company they were, what their values were, and how they interacted with the world, especially as they grew so big. How are they keeping it sustainable? How are they keeping it ethical? How are they keeping it fair trade and empowering? So lots of really cool things there. If you've ever just, randomly bought essential oils because you love them and you wonder, well, why would I buy doTERRA? I just shared a couple of really good reasons why you might want to consider that. Now, how to use doTERRA essential oils. There are 3 ways. And the first way, and I'm going to stop and just share my own self here if I can figure out how to do that. Oh, all right, it's not going to want me to do that. Anyway, the first way is aromatically, breathing it in. So before I started the webinar, I put a little bit of passion, this blend on my hands, rubbed my hands together to heat it up and get the molecules really airborne, and breathed it in. Now, when you breathe essential oils in, it goes right to the part of your brain that houses the limbic system. It houses emotions and our master gland that regulates all of our neurotransmitters, all of our fight or flight or calm down chemistry, so we can really impact how we're feeling in the moment. The most profound experience I think I had, especially at the beginning, was my son. He would get really agitated, really upset, and it would be hard to bring him back or to talk sense, right? When they're in that state and they're freaking out, it's hard to calm them down. So I took a bottle of ylang ylang, which is a very calming oil, and I just stuck it under his nose, and he smelled it, and I watched his body go from this to this, and just all of himself calmed down, and I was like, whoa. Like literally it was that fast. So that's the power of essential oils in the moment. By diffusing it, I just got a new diffuser from doTERRA, thank you very much, with water-based diffusers where you put water in, then you put just 2 or 3 drops of oil in. You can make a whole room or a whole environment smell different and feel different. I was playing a board game with my family, and my kids were starting to get, you know how they are when they get tired. And my husband, whose jaw was starting to tighten, and I could see that this game time was going to go south really fast. And I surreptitiously got up and walked over to my diffuser. I put a few drops of a blend called Serenity into it. Serenity now. And I just turned it on and sat back down. And a few minutes later, like the change in everyone's state, we were having fun again. The kids were relaxed. Mark's jaw was relaxed. And we were able to really end our game time on a really nice note. So that's the power of being able to change the environment. Other ways that aromatically oils are beneficial are physically. I've had a lot of respiratory issues in my life, and this is one where I decided I'm going to test these oils out and see, can they really do what they say they can do? So there's a blend called Breathe. It comes in this little Family Essentials kit. And I was struggling with my breathing. I was on a lot of different medications for that, a couple of inhalers, things I was supposed to take, and I hated it because it made me feel awful. And I got all shaky, and I was having side effects from the medications, but you know, breathing's kind of important. So I took the Breathe oil and I put a drop in my hand, not even a drop, kind of just a teeny little bit on my hand. I rubbed my hands together and I made it like a little inhaler, and I breathed it in. And I was like, oh my goodness. My airways are opening and they're calm, and the rest of my body's not feeling jittery, and my throat's not sore, and it's natural. And that was one of those aha moments for me. So I want to share just a couple other things. Aromatically, topically, topically, putting it on our skin, on our body. Using carrier oil like this is really helpful if you want to work in a certain spot and keep the oils kind of right there so they don't evaporate off. That's a really nice way of supporting it. You can use oils. So many of them are soothing and cleansing to the skin. So when there's irritations, inflammations, you know, stuff going on, they can be super duper helpful. And if you put it in a lotion, or this one comes in a lotion, it's a blend called Deep Blue, which is amazing for aches and pains in joints and things. And since I just went to paddleboard yoga, I'm going to take some and just put it on my shoulder there. Really nice way to use the oils is topically. Couple of tips: if you don't like the smell or you're working with little kids and things, the bottom of the feet is a fabulous place to put oils. Like I said, when you put a drop of peppermint on the bottom of your feet, you're going to taste it. So the oils are going to get everywhere in your body no matter where you put them. So don't worry too much about exactly where you're going to put them, except don't put them in your eyes, your ears, and other sensitive places. Be cautious, dilute if you decide to do something like that. No eyes and ears though, for sure. And if you do rub your eye and get it in there, take some kind of carrier oil or any kind of vegetable oil from the kitchen, or milk or butter, and wipe it wherever you've gotten the oil where it's kind of a little burny or sensitive. And it'll just take that sting away. It'll dilute it. If you try to use water, it's going to drive the oils more deeply into our cells and be more burny because oil and water don't mix. Good thing to keep in mind. Okay, third way that you can use doTERRA oils, and that is internally. Not every essential oil that doTERRA has is for internal use. And when I first learned that, I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to remember which oil to use or not use internally? And so I was really relieved when somebody pointed out to me, and I'm sorry that this is so small because I can't figure out how to stop my screen share. Let me see if I can do that. Oh, I can stop my screen share. Okay, here you go, guys. So here's my lemon oil, which is good for internal use, and it has this little supplement facts label on it. Okay, so any of the oils that have a supplement facts label can be used internally. Why would you use an oil internally? If you're supporting the internal organs and functions of your body, or you're wanting it to go all through your system. Now, let me tell you a little story about the lemon oil. It's one of the nice, easy ways to get started with oils internally. You can take a drop and put it in your water, and like right here, just one drop. If you use like a mason jar, it's kind of nice because you can shake it up because, again, oil and water don't mix. And you can drink it. It's really refreshing. All of the citruses, the mints, some others I really like to use in my water. But I had a friend who lived in New York, and in the summer when she walked around in the heat, her hands and her feet would really swell. And when she was introduced to doTERRA, one of the first habits she created was a drop of lemon in her water. Remember, super potent, one drop is plenty. And so she just was doing that as part of her daily routine. And that summer, her hands, her ankles, her feet did not swell, even though it was super hot. And we were like pondering, like, what could have caused that? And honestly, the lemon oil is totally capable of doing that. It supports the urinary system, the kidneys, cleansing things out. It supports the cardiovascular system. And so those systems were functioning more effectively for her because she had that simple little habit, which is really just a great example of how little tiny changes as you get to know oils can make profound differences in our lives. That was a really happy side effect for her, right? Okay, so let me go back. That was internally. And I would not use other essential oil brands internally. And back in the day, aromatherapists in their training were trained never to ingest essential oils, and that was because they want to have an abundance of caution, and because oils weren't regulated, so you didn't know exactly what you'd be putting in. They still got to every cell anyway, so, but just a good thing to keep in mind. Okay, how can they help you? I'm gonna just run through it. I've shared a bunch of those things, and I really wanna be mindful of our time and not keep you too long, because when I first started teaching these classes, I was like, you need to know about this oil and this oil and this oil, because they're all so amazing. But we have continuing education for that. The key tonight is to learn that it's simple to get started, and that getting started is the biggest hurdle. Once you get started, you can go, you have the rest of your life to learn about essential oils, right? Getting started is the most important thing. So let's just look at a couple quick examples of how essential oils might be useful in your home. Now, here we have a bit of a medicine cabinet-y type thing, a shelf you might find in your home. And there's 3 shelves here. I just want to kind of go over 3 different types of things that doTERRA offers. Essential oils being our top shelf. Let me see, I think, yeah, our top shelf. And these are our targets for when we have an issue we need to take care of. There's the breathing, right? Opening that up. Number 2 here is Digest Zen. When our tummies are not working the way they were designed to, that's a great one to have on hand. The tall one next to it, number 3, is Past Tense. great for when we have some tension we need help relieving, and so many others, so many ways to use them. We're going to keep going. This shelf is the things we can replace in our home where we probably, if we looked really closely, have toxins and chemicals that our bodies are having to deal with. So cleaning supplies, personal care supplies, changing the air instead of with air fresheners that are endocrine disruptors that mess with our hormones. We can use a diffuser and a few drops of natural oils to change our environment. Super cool things there. Okay, bottom shelf. This is our foundational health stuff. Essential oils are chemistry that work with our body and help our cells function better, but our cells need nutrition to be able to do those functions. So this combination of supplements are really amazing, and I really recommend when people want to make long-term changes to start looking at these other pieces as well. I know that when I added this into my life, things really amped up and started to change, where I was able to go from just holding myself and my little family together to being able to think about the world outside of my little four walls and share with other people and have energy to help people around me learn some of the things I've learned. Okay, so I want you to think about the things you want, the things your family needs, things that you struggle with. I had friends say, you know, we're pretty healthy. We don't really take medicine and stuff. I was like, okay, that's awesome. Is there anything that you'd like to, you know, maybe not have to deal with? And I had friends say, oh yeah, well, my husband, he has this like cough that just keeps going because there's just stuff in his throat. And we looked at some oils and some things that he tried, made a profound difference. He uses them regularly because it cleared that issue up. And sometimes we want to feel more of something. We want to feel more energy, or we want to feel more relaxed. My daughter, the oils at bedtime have been the biggest impact for her, because bedtime was a really difficult time for her. And the oils gave her support to be able to learn and practice winding down, feeling safe, less anxious, quieting her brain, relaxing her body when it was in pain, and getting a good night's sleep. So those are things for you to think about, and reach out to the person you're connected with. Or you can even put it in the comments below and have somebody reach out to you and help you figure out some things that would help. Okay, so I'm gonna rocket through these because I wanna get to how you get them in your home. Super important. I've talked about these, and some that you're familiar with, some that you might not be. Oh, some of these I really would love to spend more time on. Come to the continuing ed. Okay, so I talked about daily habits. Taking the Lifelong Vitality Pack of supplements is a habit. Supporting healthier digestion with that tool is a habit. That drop of lemon in the water, some frankincense to support our cellular function, On Guard for immune support, Balance for grounding and stabilizing. That was huge for me, especially at the beginning. And then supported probiotics. So a couple things there. Lifelong Vitality Pack, I could go on and on about this. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee, and you can learn a lot more about it on their website. But it's a game changer. I shared this with someone, and she said that she loved the oils, but she said this changed her life. She had more energy, and she was able to keep going and do the things she wanted at the end of her workday instead of just being toast. And couldn't we all use a little bit of that? Okay, here's just a little bit about it. Now, here's what I love to share. How do you get this in your home? This is important because when I first thought, I'd be like, okay, well, why wouldn't I just get it off Amazon? There are good reasons not to get it off Amazon. First, you can get it cheaper. Second, doTERRA has a program like Amazon Prime where you pay a membership fee for a wholesale customer account. I'll get you, oops, I'll take you there. and you get 25% discount, so you get a better pricing, and you get your, whatever you pay for in shipping, you get back in points for free oils. So they're giving you free oils to cover up that shipping. Just like with Amazon Prime, we pay for our membership and then we get free shipping, for free 2-day shipping, etc. It's $35 for that membership for a full year. And then the next year it's $25 if you're still purchasing. They won't automatically charge you if you're not still purchasing. That was a big relief to me because I hate those auto renews. And you get a free peppermint oil when you do renew, which means you get like, it's like $3 is how much it costs to renew, right? Super awesome. Okay, now doTERRA created kits because there are, I don't even know, I've lost track of the number of essential oils that there are. And let me see, actually I want to show you. Okay, here's a list of some of the oils. Now, if we had to figure out what the best oils would be for you, we could be here all night. And like I said, the best way to do this is to just get started, okay? So this is a great starter kit. It's what I started with. It has all of those oils that we talked about that support all those different body systems and a free diffuser. Super awesome. And the membership is free with this. So for $275, you get all of that. If you were to buy those oils individually with the wholesale customer account, it would be more expensive. Okay, this one is like a sampler packet of same oils as this, but smaller bottles. You get a third of the oils. You get some beadlets with it. It's a nice, cost-effective way to just dip your foot in the water and test it out. But the beauty of having a kit is membership's free, and you get the beadlets for free, and you get a variety of oils that are going to cover a lot of different bases in your life and home, rather than have 2 oils that cost a bunch, and then you maybe don't know what to do with them. So this is designed for covering all the major body systems and things. Now, if you want that whole thing and you want to like up level, removing toxins from your home, have the vitamins and that foundational support, get a really cool box, and have a bunch of the extra cool stuff, plus those oils, plus some of my other favorites. This is a great way where you save a ton of money. And people who know they're ready to dive in, this is a good place to do it because you wind up getting these things later on anyway. So saves a bunch there. Now, whose life do you want to change? When I said yes to my friend Rosie, I didn't know what I was getting into. I was just looking for something to make things a little better in my home. And it opened the door to this huge world that just it continues to unfold more and more beautiful gifts. If you get a membership with the person who shared this with you, you will have a support system, a team, our team, with continuing education, one-on-one support, Facebook group support, and you get your own wellness guide and a wellness 90-day plan to help you get started successfully. Because seriously, I am not here, and neither any of my friends here, to sell you oils so we can make a buck. We're here because they changed our lives and we want them to change yours. And if they sit in the bottles at home and they sit in the box at home because you don't know how to use them, then we haven't done our job and your life hasn't gotten a chance to change. So we really want to have you connect. And that's why that wholesale customer account, which is like Amazon Prime, connects you to us and also is just super beneficial to you. So it's easy to sign up. There's a little form here. You can also go on the website and sign up. They have a customer account and a wellness advocate account, which is somebody doing the business, which I'll talk very briefly about. I highly recommend that you start as a customer. It's so important before you go trying to share and sell oils and teach others that you know the oils inside and out, that you've experienced them, that you understand doTERRA and its culture. So there, you lose nothing by starting as a customer, and the only thing you need to do to change to a wellness advocate, if you choose to do that, is add some information on the website. That's it. There's no other added fees or big things you have to purchase. You can add things on if you're like, ooh, I like that kit, but I really want this other little thing. You can do that. Or you can wait and order later. So one thing I love that doTERRA offers is this loyalty reward where you can purchase something each month. For me and for so many others I see, it's a fabulous way for people to learn a little at a time. We have crazy lives and it's overwhelming what we have to deal with in our lives. And so doing it this way where you can slowly start to add in and they give you extra special things for continuing to be a loyal customer is a really great way to go and just slowly build your account, which is why just get started with one of the kits. It's simple and you don't have to worry about where do I start, which oils do I need. Quick question at the end, whose lives do you want to change? If you are where I was 8.5 years ago, and you're just barely managing to hold on in your life and in your home, focus on changing your life. It's perfect. And then when your life is in a better spot, when you have hope, when you have these amazing tools, you can start to think about your friends and share with them. I just automatically started sharing with my friends because I knew that it could help with something that they were struggling with. And we do help with making this happen, so it's not like all on your own, and you never have to do this. This is just a natural option that you have. You can also look at changing your future, building a business. I've seen it change people's lives where they're able to stay home with their kids, where their spouses can leave like life-sucking jobs, where I was able to get out of debt. Yay for credit card debt being gone, because of building a business, doing something I love, sharing oils that make my life and others' lives better. So you can learn more about that later. Just wanted you to know it exists. And know that even if the only thing you're doing is purchasing a few oils a month or throughout the year, for your home and your family and trying it out, you're changing lives around the world because of doTERRA's sourcing model. And if you want to learn more about that, you can check out Co-Impact Sourcing doTERRA on YouTube, or go to their site called Source to You, or look and see the work that their Healing Hands Foundation is doing. It is inspiring. Okay, I've gone over a little bit. But I wanted to just share my heart with you and share just a vision of how oils could make a difference in your life and home. I just really encourage you, if you have not chosen to get a wholesale customer account and become part of this community, start today. Reach out to someone, have them help you choose the best kit for you, and just start. You will not regret it, I promise you. doTERRA is improving lives every day around the world. Both customers, people like me who are building and sharing now, and the people all around the world who are growing and harvesting and benefiting from what we do here. So I hope that this was encouraging, inspiring. I hope that it gave you a little bit of hope that things could be different than how they are right now. Even in my own life today, there's stuff, right? We deal with stuff. And I know that I have resources. I have oils. I have a community. I have so much more knowledge about my own body by the things I've learned by using my oils. And I still have my doctors. I still have the hospital if I need it. And I'm just so much more empowered, and so are my kids. And I hope today you are too. Leave your comments. Share, give me feedback, and hopefully I'll see you and some friends next Wednesday night so that they can learn along with you. Have a great night.